Once we set up our general quiz settings, we click on Save and Display. Notice at this point we see the grading method, and we see that no questions have been added yet because we haven't added any. We click on Edit Quiz. Now there are a number of different ways we can add questions, by either using what's called the question bank, in which we add our questions to a database of question categories. You can import and export questions using this bank. In this video, we're going to use the simpler method of adding questions by clicking on the Add a Question button. Here are the different types of questions you can add. Notice that it works the same way as the Add an Activity or Resource dialog. Click on the radio button and it explains more about the question type. Let's do a multiple choice question. Click on the radio button, then click Add. In this editing space, you need to determine which category this question belongs. A category is a way of organizing the questions in your course or on your site. By default, when you create a quiz, a default quiz category with the name of the quiz is created here, called default for the name of the quiz. Here we have default for the Israel Pop Quiz. At this point, let's put our questions here. The other question categories relate to the question bank, which could be its own video if we wish. Right now, we're just going to focus on the simple way of adding questions. Give the question a descriptive name. This will help you identify the question in the question bank if you choose to use this question in another quiz. So we're going to give a short name. Let's call it Capital City. And now we're going to add the question text. This is what the actual question is. And as you see, we're in our friend the text editor, where you can change the fonts and add color and add images to your question. Let's do this simply. We're going to ask the question, what is the name of Israel's capital city? Set the default grade, the maximum number of points or marks for this question. Each question can be worth 1 point or 5 points or 10 points. It's really your choice. You can add general feedback, which will be provided to the student after she or he has answered the question, regardless if it is right or wrong. Choose if the question has only one answer or multiple answers. There's only one capital city of Israel, so there's only one answer. Choose whether to shuffle the answer options for each question attempt and how the questions will be numbered. Here is where you put your first answer option and the grade percentage for the answer. If it is correct, you give it 100%. If it is one of two correct answers, you can give it 50%. If it is wrong, you can give it a 0 by leaving it as none. This is a text editor, so you can change the way the text looks and add images and other media if you so desire. So we're going to say that our first answer is Jerusalem, and we know that is correct, so we're going to give it a 100%. You notice that you can also give feedback to each question. So this is the correct answer, so we can say, good job. For choice 2, which we know is the wrong answer, we'll write Tel Aviv and leave it none. Choice 3, Eilat, no, the grade is none. And choice 4, let's say Haifa. As I said, you can give feedback to each of the answers. The combined feedback field has predetermined text that is given as feedback as well. You can use that if you wish. The multiple tries field relates only when you use the adaptive mode setting in question behavior. You don't have to worry about outcomes or tags. Save changes. We have the question we just created, and you can add another question. Click on Add, and let's do a matching question where we have to match one answer with another. So we're going to leave it in default for Israel Pop quiz. Question name will be Israel locations. The question text or the instruction will be match the site with the location in Israel. Let's leave the default mark 1. We don't have to give general feedback. Check the shuffle box if you want the answers in the drop-down menus to be shuffled. For the first matching item, enter the question and the matching answer. It looks better if you put the longer piece of text in the question and not the match. So our first question is Western Wall, and the answer is Jerusalem. The next question can be Diaspora Museum, Tel Aviv, and you can navigate from field to field using the tab button. Baha'i Temple, Haifa. You can add, if you want, 3 more questions. The Ari Synagogue, and that is in Tzfat. In question 5, Dolphin Reef, and that's in Eilat. Now, notice that you can provide an extra wrong answer by giving an answer with a blank question. That you can be a little tricky if you'd like that way. Click Save Changes. And we have our next question. Let's add one more question. Click on Add a Question. Let's do a true and false question. We're going to set the category for default Israel Pop Quiz. We're going to give the question a name so that we can help identify it. Let's just call it Masada. Let's give the question text. Remember, this is true and false, so the text will be, this is a picture of Masada. We can click on the Edit Insert Image button, find and upload an image, choose a file. We'll upload a picture of Masada. We'll upload it. Let's change we can leave the appearance the way it is. Give the image description as Masada. Insert. And there is the picture. The answer, of course, is this is a picture of Masada. True or false? True. Click Save Changes. And we have our 3 questions. Once you've created your quiz, you can preview it and take it yourself by clicking on the preview link under Administration. So we click on Preview. Here is the first picture. Here is the first question. Remember, this is not in the order we created them, but we had set Shuffle. This is a picture of Masada. True. Next. What is the name of Israel's capital city? Let's say Tel Aviv and see what happens. Match the site with the location in Israel. Dolphin Reef is in Eilat. The Ari Synagogue is in Tzfat. The Baha'i Temple is in Haifa. Diaspora Museum is in Tel Aviv, and the Western Wall is in Jerusalem. Next. So we have 3 answers. The answers have been saved. We can submit all and finish, or we can return an attempt. In other words, the student has as many attempts as he or she wishes. Let's just click on Submit All and Finish. It's going to make sure we really want to submit all and finish. And we get the feedback. The correct answer is true. Your answer was incorrect. The correct answer is Jerusalem. Next. We have all of these. We have finished the review. That's how we can review the question. We got a little overall feedback. Good job. To see how your students have done, you would click on the results link under Quiz Administration, and then decide how you want to see what the students have done, how the students have done using different parameters. No one has enrolled in this class, so we really can't see, but you can decide who we want to see, how they did this is how you would be able to determine your students' progress in taking the quiz. So that's really a very brief introduction to how you create a quiz in Moodle. As you can tell, there are a lot of different ways of doing it, a lot of different options. I encourage you to explore and experiment, have fun creating your own quizzes.